Hello there, my name is Benjamin, and thank you so much for joining me once again in the studios of Blaben Solutions. So, in today's video tutorial, we will be looking at how to design a funeral poster. So, the purpose for this video is to, first of all, sympathize with the families of late Chadwick Aaron Boseman, and especially to his wife Taylor Simone. Our thoughts and prayers are with you in your time of grief. We are so sorry for your loss, and we wish you peace and comfort as you grieve. Please accept our deepest condolences. And secondly, I received a request wanting me to create a funeral poster with a dark tone color. So in this video, I intend to include all these in it. Before we begin, let me put out this disclaimer. I have no relation to the families of late Chadwick Boseman. And also, I haven't taken any money from anyone to do this. Any date, any time on this poster is not true. It's just a mere assumption. And it's a way of showing our condolences to the families of Chadwick. So please do well to stay tuned till the end of this video. So these are the resources that I will be using for this video, and quickly let's jump right into our Photoshop. Alright, so to begin, first of all, we need to create our working space. So coming to file, click on new, or you can personally use the shortcut key Ctrl N to create. So I'm going to name this funeral poster. And maybe in here we are going to change the sizes of this. I will be working in pixels, so do well to also work in that. However, you can change it to any units of measurement that you think you are okay with. So in here, 1080 by 765, or let's say 760 would do. So the resolution is 300, and everything is intact in here. So let's click OK when we're done. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do, as in the next thing I'm going to do, is I'm going to add a solid black background to this. So coming in here, we could click in here, and let's choose this to be a solid background. So we have a black solid background, and let's begin typing. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to type is home call. Okay, and I'm going to change the font of this to something different. So using my character panel, if you can't find a character panel in here, just go to Windows, and it is here for you to choose and work with. Okay, so I'll be using a font by name Clarendon. Okay, Clarendon HVBT. That is it. And I'm going to increase the size to something like this. I will also change the color of this to a gradient color. So coming to my add layer style in here, we are going to choose gradient overlay. Okay, I have already created the golden or gold gradient colors that I want to use for this. I'll make sure I leave this particular set of gradients in the description, so do well to check the description below for the link so you can actually download it if you want to use this. So basically I think this is okay, and maybe let me try choosing something How are we making 177? Sorry. Okay, so I think this is okay. Then I'm going to click OK. Now I have a little history about Chadwick, so I would want to bring it on board. So I have this in here, and alright, so I can copy this, and with my text tool selected, I'm going to hold and drag this in here this way, and maybe I'm going to reduce the size to this, change the font color to Mirai Pro, reduce the caps lock, and okay, so the next thing I'm going to do in here is I'm going to bring in his name. So with this also, I'll be changing the color from this to a gradient fill color. So with any of them selected, let's come to our add layer style, choose gradient overlay, and we can select this, hit OK, and maybe make this 170. Okay, then let's do same for this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on this, I'm going to copy the layer style and click on Boseman, and I'm going to paste the layer style there. So I have this one as well there. And what I'm going to do next is I have some, I call them swirl, this blue swirl, so I'm going to import them, and I'm going to place them one on top and one beneath the name. Okay, so we have with one, this actually a PNG format, portable network graphics format, so I can take one out. So with my rectangular tool selected, you just draw across any of the one that you want to cut out. Then let's press Ctrl J to duplicate it. So you can see we've taken this first one out. So after we select our move tool or our selection tool, then we can move this in here. Alright, so you can see that this is very big, so let's reduce it to a sizable size that we think will be okay. So if we think this is okay, so I'm going to hold and drag this and put this on top of this side, and same way I'm going to apply the gold gradient. Remember, we've already copied, so I'm just going to right click on the layer and paste the layer style to it. Right, so then I'm going to duplicate this portion, the top portion, Ctrl J, and I'm going to drag it beneath. But before, let me rotate it by choosing the vertical rotation. Then I can drag this beneath here. I think sorry about that. So I need a rectangle too. So now I'm going to add the dark tone to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me push this beneath. So I'm currently, or better still, let's let it remain there. So I'm going to add a black and white adjustment to it. Then I'll add the curve adjustment to it. Okay, so with this layer selected, I'll come to the adjustment layer, then I'm going to click this, and I'm going to add the black and white adjustment layer to this. sorry, it actually applied to everything. I just wanted to affect the image. So what I'm going to do is, we have this little drop icon in here, so I'm just going to click this, and you can see it has only affected this particular image. So we can choose to either work or play with the radiuses that we have in here, but I'm going to leave everything as it is, and I'm going to add one more adjustment there, which has to do with the curve, okay, and that will make the work more should I say more nicer or more. So I'm going to hold in here and I'm going to drag this. You see, when you try dragging it out, you have a bright image, but now I'm going to drag this down, and you can see that once I'm dragging this thing down, then my image is becoming darker, but I don't need two darker things. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, but before, let me click this and let it affect only the image that we want to work with, right? So something of this nature, not too whitish, something of this nature, I'll be okay with that, right? So I think this is okay. So see how it was, and now see how it is, right? So that is it for the dark tone. So let me group this actually together, Ctrl G, and I'm going to name this dark tone. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to put down the age of Chadwick. He was 43 years old. So I'm going to first of all type the age here, that he was 43 years old. I'm actually going to increase the size of the 43 to something bigger with my transform tool. So Ctrl T, hold my shift key, and now I can transform this bigger, right? So I can put this in here, but I need something around it. So I have that thing here. Let me quickly do the importation of that. This is it. I named it round swell, so I'm going to import this in here, and I'm going to place this on top. This is too big. Alright, so let me drag this and put this in here. Alright, so let's hit enter. Then I'm going to apply the layer style, the gold layer style that I did already. Do same for the 43, and so there we have it, right? So I'm going to group these layers together. Better still, with the text we can reduce the gold color, we can reduce the brightness of it, so by adding the luminosity to it. So where is it, name text, okay, so let me see. So we come back to the adjustment layer, then we're going to add the, okay, let me use hue and saturation. So with the hue and saturation, we can actually reduce the brightness of the gold color, okay. It is affecting everything beneath. I just wanted to affect the, so we have something, this is too dark, and yeah, I think we can work with this, say, and there you have it. One more thing and we are done. So what I'm going to do lastly is, I'm going to import the image of Chadwick showing the Wakanda sign, and place it as a watermark in the background. Thank you so much for watching, and until I come your way next time, this is still Blaben Solutions, and do well to check my other videos.